Well, good morning. We're coming to you live from Mamelodi here in Pretoria, where the elderly is set to get food parcels from, of course, the group calling themselves Not In My Name. You can see their visuals there in the background. Many of them having taken their positions just a few seconds ago. Of course, the program here is running behind schedule. We're supposed to start at around 10:30 with a few glitches here and there. It seems like they're now good to go, and the elderly here are about to get their food parcels. So let's speak to one of the leaders here. It's the president of Not In My Name, Siyabulela Njenkile. Just in short, what inspires the initiative?
No, thank you so much. I think central to our collective effort at this time is to ensure that we offer support to those who are tasked with ensuring the safety of the public and wellness of the public in general. And we thought, since this age group, because all our elders here are just above 60, the youngest is 63 when I last checked last night. So they are the most vulnerable to this pandemic. So we thought, it is important that us as a civil rights organization who come on board and make sure that, we assist them with essentials because this group of people, and not only in Mamelodi but the whole of South Africa, they live in concentrated townships. Some of them live in rural areas. They don't have access to basic essentials, and then that on its own, and just thousands of people would come to us and say they need assistance. And we thought, we need to hit the call, and that's what inspired it. The president said those who have must share with those who do not have, and that is what we are doing.
If you can maybe just share with our viewers, how did you identify the beneficiaries?
Yeah, so this first round that we're rolling out, which by the way started in Inanda in KZN on Saturday, we have identified the elderly who are, either living with their grandchildren, who are unemployed, and who are really, their material conditions, propelled us to say we need to make sure that they do get something. And then we partnered with an organization of the elderly. They assisted us so much in making sure that they identify the people who really, really and genuinely need the assistance today. And of course, because of the regulations, we couldn't have everyone here, but we are hoping that as time goes on, we should be able to cover most of them.
Are they all from Mamelodi?
The ones that we have here are from Mamelodi. They're from around this area, because remember, these are the elderly. We don't want them to walk for too long. So what we are doing with this program is that we go to where they are. We're encouraging people to stay home, and we don't want to expose our Kokona Umkulu to too much movement.
Getting exactly to that point, not wanting to expose the elderly. And I mean, we have repeatedly heard experts talking about how aggressive this virus is on the elderly in particular. Why have you decided to bring them here together when they're all from Mamelodi, when you could have just executed this project of goodwill and gone for a door-to-door where you deliver the food parcels instead of converging them here?
So as I said to you, this past Saturday we launched the program in Inanda in KZN, and that is exactly what we did door-to-door. So part of today is to mobilize support and mobilize all our partners and ordinary South Africans to say that if you have something, our doors are open. Let us come together so that we've got a well-coordinated efforts that assists government from a civil rights movement. So we thought, let them come here, and they are safe here. We've got hand sanitizers. We make sure that they've got the hand sanitizers, they've got the face masks, and they're not going to stay here for over an hour. So it's going to be a quick thing, and then we make sure that they go back home safely.
But the virus does not need an hour to spread, does it?
No, definitely. Certainly doesn't need an hour, but we make sure that we've maximized our efforts to make sure that our elders are protected, and we've ensured that we all the rules and regulations are well followed, and then we do this as quickly as possible, because at the end of the day, these people need to eat, and unfortunately, whichever way you go around about it, there'll still be an element, a certain percentage of exposure that they have, but we're trying our level best.
But it's more controlled when we do do a door-to-door instead of mobilizing them in one space?
As I said, there's a reason why we did it this way and why we did it here today.
Is it about marketing? Is it about, obviously, campaigning? You are, at the end of the day, a company, you are a brand. Could it be that you're also trying to derive some sort of mileage out of this?
No, look, to a certain percentage, yes, it is true, but that is not the main purpose of us bringing them here. Remember, I said to you, this is what we've been doing, but the main purpose of us bringing them here today is that, one, we ensure that they all receive their parcel, and the organization that we partnered with of elders, this is the space that they are comfortable with because they are from this neighborhood. So them coming here, yeah, we are saying to this to South Africans, they must come on board, they must assist us, black businesses must come, white businesses must come, corporate South Africa, churches, and everyone must come. And you would know that, in fact, we've partnered with other organizations in and around this area. You know, in Mamelodi, from here we are taking some parcels and food to Mamelodi. We Baptist Church, we are not expecting them to come here. So the reason why we are here is also to say that to the rest of South Africa, let us come on board. And, this is time not for division, but for unity. And that is what we are trying to demonstrate here.
And I think everybody appreciates your goodwill, and everybody understands what is needed here, but that does not go beyond the calls that we should do whatever in our power to minimize any risk of exposure. So it's not a question to shoot down your goodwill, but it is really to understand what exactly the main objective is, if there could have been a better way to execute this.
No, definitely, and I do understand that, but the most important thing is also to keep in mind that coordination is also important. So this is the first round of this program, and then we are kickstarting it in Gauteng. This is where we are starting, and look at it as a launch of some sort in a way. So moving forward, we'll sure to make sure that we observe all the rules of the regulations thereof, and we make sure that the people are exposed the least as possible. But the most important thing, and that we should not forget and shy away from, is the fact that people need food, and we are here to give people food, and then they go back home. That is the most important thing.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Of course, people need food, but people also need to be protected from the virus that threatens their lives daily. And the question remains, if we could do this better, if there is a possibility to just go to these elderly people's homes and drop off the food, why mobilize them at a place like this where they have to come together for them to get food that could have been brought to the comfort of their homes? But nevertheless, we don't overlook the goodwill, the spirit of giving that continues to inspire many of you in your various corners. Let's give it back to you in studio right now.
Thanks a lot, Patricia, for that update.